the most confident strats for that Chinese region as a whole during that tournament. So it's kind of interesting to see them still give it a throwback here and play this Io, a hero that has not had good results and not looked good, but in theory is still very good in the meta if you get to, like, you know, a mech, soul ring, locket, whatever you want to go on this hero.
Yeah, of the mana batteries, definitely the least preferred of like the four, right? You've got Pugna, obviously the number one. That got picked up first by Shopify. Then you've got Coddle, I think, was second in popularity. Crystal Maiden has even been picked up a little bit more than Io. Very few Io picks in this tournament. And in general, just across the meta in a little bit.
And for a reason. The lane is definitely the weakest of everything. This hero just does nothing on lane in the first 3 levels. Like, absolutely nothing. Just sits there and hopes you don't die. It's really bad at using blood grenades. It doesn't have any all-in threat.
Yeah.
The stick is okay early, but that's about all you're getting out of the hero. Headdress isn't bought too much anymore. The mech rush can be difficult. This hero doesn't abuse ancient stacks or stacking too well either because it wants to stay on the lane for the full duration, and it's very slow without the tether once it moves off the lane. There's a lot of little things that Io just does not do well. Doesn't contest the wisdom runes well, because then it's in a situation where it's on its own on the map and doesn't have a stun. So it's just like a click battle all the time. There's a lot this hero does not have going for it and why we don't see it. However, I still think if you get into the mid game in a good position, then Io still does Io things and it turns your cores into raid bosses, which is what IG is looking for here. Just make the Storm and the Ursa untouchable with ice armor on top of, or I should say frost shield on top of all the Io buffs. And then you're just a god. And then you take that god and you jam it into Shopify and hope they do not have an answer to a god.
I feel like this Io is going to be... I mean, Io wants to play with everybody. Right?
Yeah.
Play with Broodmother, play with Ursa, play with Storm, to refill the mana.
Yeah. Is there a follow-up on that?
I mean, I just feel like you're being... You only got one tether. Feel like you're getting pulled apart a little bit.
Well, I mean, when you go in with Emo and he dies, then you can tether the Ursa and have a good fight still. So I feel like it's going to work out, you know?
Okay.
I mean, one of them should have a good game.
I feel like it's different from, like, Pugna and Coddle, who can, like, kind of spread the love around. I feel like Io's a little bit more monogamous in nature, you know?
It's a fair assessment. I think another reason why the meta tends to be unfavorable towards him, as a lot of the net worth gets spread across multiple cores now instead of one. It's not really a 4 protect 1 meta anymore where you tether this guy and he just becomes a beast. That definitely hurts you a little. Still, IG are going to look to pick up that Io tempo with the Ursa, maybe go for the early Roshans, and Shopify looking to have another strong early game in the silence, at least with Skyrath Pugna here. Very fast supports, 325 and 330 without the boots. Should just be able to spam right clicks here, at least in this Ursa lane, really win the region battle. I would expect to win the region trades up here with Skyrath Beast versus Lich Ursa, because Ursa is providing absolutely zero on this lane, except a meat sack.
A meat sack.
To absorb the hits. So, if you're Shopify, you expect to win that lane. Maybe mid's a wash with slightly Storm favored and actually trades.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get crit. They really wanted that flower. And they are going to trade out the supports here. The Axe is building up a lot of damage. Shang Yu, he'll be okay. He did a bit of work to him. PYW is going to heal him back up a bit, though.
These silence are going better for IG than I thought they would on the early levels. I mean, the Morphling Pugna's a fairly defensive lane early. You're just trying to out CS, and you are not going to force this Brood off the lane with Web Regen plus an Io when they're both getting stick charges and a Lotus. I mean, this is a heavy regen sustain lane for IG. You should be free farming down here for the foreseeable future if you're Shang Yu, and that's a decent sign for IG because the lanes were an issue last game. It's not going to be a snowbally this time around.
Yeah.
And if you can get the Io through the first 3 to 4 levels, then you're really happy. This is an interesting lane matchup. And getting the first blood for Dust is pretty nice up here too, because he was struggling region-wise. Now he gets to buy in Raindrop, Extra Sal, and start to deal with this harass a little bit better.
Abed putting some pressure on Emo here.
Oh, little Skelly Boy roam too. Trying to secure the water runes, and they're going to TVP. Well,
oh, it's going to be close, but he does have a pullback on Emo. He'll be able to get the water rune off of that one. As long as he stays alive, it's all good. It's actually going to be Abed who may end up falling as the slight. Dodges a couple of hits, but it's not quite good enough. Hits from PYW and Emo rain in, and I think Emo, yeah, especially with that miss, it's going to be perfectly fine. So good trade-off for IG. Their laning phase continues to be rather fortuitous.
Yeah, and they get the double salve here on mid. So super efficient regen usage from Why do I keep saying PWI? Dude? Why is that stuck in my brain?
I don't know.
PYW. And he will get a level 3 off that as well. Really, really good to make sure that Emo has a game here because he is the big playmaker. And like the Abed was just kind of taking it to him in the lane.
That was that's a lot of damage. Skywrath Mage, Beastmaster, double magic amp, I guess.
It's true. There's a lot of amp in this game. Decrep plus Skywrath amp. You're throwing axes in. Another trade up top. Trying to get Saberlight, and I think Dust will. Or will he? He will.
Yeah, I mean, he's heading to a dead end either way. Now, the best Dust can do is kill some bears on his way out, but Crit's going to do a lot of damage to him. In fact, yeah, he's dead. Dust knows it, too. He just tries to get what he can out of the situation, but these boars are just too damn deadly. With a potent 4 position behind them, yeah.
That's nice for Crit, getting all that solo XP. Still, Saberlight, he does go down, but he is having a monster of a game in terms of the net worth up here. He's top of the board somehow, which I don't know where all that gold came from. The CS isn't crazy for him, but he's having a good time. And he'll have a fast Arcane Boots helm up here. Arcane Boots nice for Skywrath Mage. He's going to have the regen up. I mean, Dust is making the most out of this lane. So that is pretty good for IG. If you're looking for one hero to have the best time, though, it is definitely Emo. And they are giving him the priority here. 3 heroes to mid.
Yeah, they
Multiple
quickly
games for this Storm.
kill the Pugna, RTZ in a little one-on-one battle. It's not feeling too good about it either as the Broodmother starts taking over the lane a bit.
Wonder how much IG is gonna continue to commit to Emo. I mean, do you just do this for the entire game? Maybe you do.
I guess so, but this time around, Shopify Rebellion, you know, they're like, you can only do this tri-lane shtick for so long. Crit finally rotates out of that top lane and gives a helping hand, and that'll push Abed to a place where now he's level 6 ahead of the Storm Spirit.
That's a very close level 6 for the Storm.
Yeah, he was right on the edge, right?
Yeah, he was literally, let's see how much. 10x POA. 670 out of 680.
The
That
tri-lane
sucks.
plays against him, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, this Storm, he wasn't doing so hot on the XP, and it wasn't like they were getting chain kills off this. Now he'll hit 6. Still, big kill to get, puts Abed back on top, and all 3 cores for Shopify having a very good start here. Roar already up for Saberlight as well. So now Dust he's a little spooked up here. Like, you're getting this wave pushed in with Catapult, silences. You don't know who's rotating up here. This is a nice pressure point for Shopify. I expect them to commit on this Catapult because the outspam for IG does not exist. It is Frost Shield and that is all.
Yeah,
They're really going to let him
even
drag
have
this
the
off?
The high levels of Frost Shield.
I am surprised that Shopify did not just dive here because they know Emo has no TP. He TP'd back mid. That just feels like a missed opportunity. I don't think IG can really respond. I mean, you can TP the IO, but he also used his big wand on mid too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a fight Dust can take. I really don't. I think that was an opportunity to push it in. Keep your catapults up.
Fighting Abed. Might be able to get the kill off the Sinister Gaze. They will.
Damn.
Big pickup, and they get another power rune off of it. So refill for Emo's bottle.
Okay. As the support's rotation to mid for IG has worked out in the end. As Emo having a pretty decent game here, which is a good sign for IG because this Storm definitely needs to do some heavy lifting, at least to get them into this mid game until the 2 other cores can catch up on the farm and start delivering the objectives. And they're going to continue this 3-man IO hit squad into the triangle. There's some stacks here. How greedy do you get? How much mana are you going to use?
Yeah, I mean, with the IO, they do have a bit of sustain if they want to fight for that, but Abed, he wants to punish them for this one. Saberlight's going to be here too. Look at him. Oh no, the silence with the illusion rune. Oh, that is so helpful because Saberlight was gunning to get that Primal Roar on the Storm Spirit. He was all in on that.
But he wants to protect these stacks and get 2 more up. That is why Saberlight's making that rotation. It says, nobody takes my Ancients. But that is a very fortuitous illusion rune. Pretty good use there for Emo.
Yeah, perfect use.
You have to think about this silence the whole game. Level 2 already for Crit. I mean, they picked the Skywrath Mage basically just to shut down the Storm in the early fights. And it's going to be obnoxious. And yep, the camp stack differential pretty decent here for Shopify as that triangle is waiting for Saberlight to clear through it. It's going to be very farm this game. And it looks like Helm of the Overlord is his choice of item.
Zipping back to punish Fly, who Not sure if he wanted to get some aggressive vision down or if he just wanted to see if there was any stacks or anything. Either way, he falls to Emo. We'll take a quick trip back to base, so we might see a Storm Spirit rotation in one of these side lanes. We'll see.
Could TP out here? I mean, where do you TP though? Like, there's nobody top. Bottom's already kind of getting shoved out. I feel like you might just have to go back mid here, and you're going to miss the 10-minute rune. He's going to TP for it. Not in time.
Yeah, a little bit too late for that one. Regen going to be brought up by Abed.
And Shopify, they're collapsing on mid. They really want to chains into some chain disable here. Will not find it. This is 10-minute catapult, which will result in bottom tower going down as the Morphling cannot stand there. Do you like this Morphling pick? Because it was a 4th pick Morphling.
Is there ever a Morphling pick that's bad? I feel like if it's
interesting, we usually don't see the hero go super late in the draft. They'll clean up mid tower, by the way. Just Ember things, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the later it is, then the better it's got to be, right? If I like a Morphling pick on 2nd pick, then a Morphling pick on 4th pick, if I say I hate it, it means I think the pro players are dumbasses and they did a really shitty draft with Morphling.
It's probably true.
Which I don't believe that.
It is just crazy that they got a 4th.
It is crazy, man. I mean, they're laughing about it on the panel, that's for sure.
I think the Brood does have a good matchup versus Hero, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for IG here, as all these Shopify cores are just getting what they want. They're just farming. I don't think there's too much pressure on them to make anything happen. I mean, they're just finding casual pickoffs with the Skywrath. There's not too much objective pressure coming in until Pipe is done for the Brood. Maybe an early Roshan for Dust if they can ramp it up super fast, but outside of that, it's just going to be a farm game, and I think Shopify are happy with their scale here.
Yeah, certainly. Which means all the more reason for Emo to have a successful early game and kick up the pace, find kills like these potentially. Seal's going to go out, slight chains onto the two of them, but with them so close together, the regen being offered by the IO, no way to be able to turn around and threaten Emo.
Saberlight's joining this too. This is turning into a full-on team fight.
He is, but Dust is also going to be joining in on this. They're going to use the Prime Reward to kill the Lich, but now you are running out of resources, and that Chain Frost is still bouncing around. Saberlight going to be slowed down enough that Dust does get to him and finishes him off barely before the TP completes. Now Dust and Emo, though, are on the run as Abed still had plenty of resources to work with. Yeah, the Hadouken with the seal, the chains on 2 as well, so they're going to be able to kill the Ursa, but Emo had enough mana to jump away from the Abed Ember Spirits. Triple kill for Saberlight off of the board, by the way.
And those summons did work in that engagement in the open area. IG, they just don't have clear for it. This Beastmaster is going to be an old school problem. Normally it's about the axes and ags like some auras. These are just boars and a creep that IG do not have the clear. They have a Chain Frost that goes in and gets soaked up by them, and that's it. That is their AoE this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, golf clap, I guess, but QI not happy with that, and I don't know if it's going to get better. I don't know if there's a way to itemize to even deal with the beast summons this game. You kind of just have to get to a point where your right clickers are strong enough it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or I guess sustain through the IO. Like, this is still the part of the game where PYW is not offering a lot on the IO. He doesn't have a mech. Doesn't have more than just Soul Ring Wand here. You just get run down. If you can't take those long sustained fights, eventually the Beastmaster and the Ember Slights are going to win out.
Yeah, that's true.
And what also...
I mean, you would think that you would win those sustained fights because the IO, but I guess, you know, he did die relatively early into it.
They're going to make a go on Artor. This is
a hard kill.
Yeah, you do not have Morphling answers this game. That's the downside of this IO Lich support duo.
Do you think you can go Orchid on, like, is that an, Emo's not going for it, but was that an option? Because that's an old school Storm Spirit versus Morphling option, right?
I don't think Orchid does anything in Morph. I think he will always have a Manta before you have Orchid.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or, like, your opportunity to kill him on the map, the way Morphling farms is just so limited. Maybe if you have, like, a Vision Hero or something, but Dust is... Dust.
Yeah. Ash to Ash. Dust to Dust. Abed, be forced to remnant away. Was going to try and go for the support kill, go for the Wisdom Rune, but...
Those are two supports, by the way. Killing IG's hard carry.
Yeah.
Did not even need a core from that, because Saberlight is just continuing to farm Ancients and get Swole. Again, not much map pressure. I go back to both these games for IG of just... they're not creating any part of the map where Shopify are afraid to go. Their cores aren't really being forced off waves. They got a couple pickoffs, but nothing that's building momentum here. You just got to get something going. I mean, maybe this game is a bit better for them in terms of they just get really fat and get some Roshans. It's looking a bit more solid. But Dust is going to need help with his Ancients right now. I see is struggling to get through him. This Battle Fury is pretty damn slow for the Ursa.
Yeah, and it's not like he has tons of Ancients he's going to be able to farm, especially with the way that Shopify have held a good amount of ground.
This game is just going to come down to Emo and Zhang Yu in terms of getting in there with this Brood Pipe, skirmishing it up. It is completed, so here's one of your windows to try and take a fight. If you're going to line this with the IO mech, which is 100 away, I think you have some pretty good sustain going into that.
Yeah, not bad.
Skelly Boy Cam.
The Skelly Boy Cam. Look at him go. He's so cool.
Add it to the list of, little production item number 6,000 I did not ask for versus the one I did that has still not been... Okay, I'll let it go. I'll let it go for now.
I don't think you're ever going to let that go.
I'm never going to let it go. Wait.
Look at the consumable gold spent.
Oh, there it is.
Some of
right on
blood
cue.
grenades.
Look at that. It's all Lich, baby. Because it's always all Lich.
He spreads his spiders around to get some vision. They'll take the mid tower for free. I have to imagine they know why it's free.
This is not a Rosh you want to be giving up with an IO or Selena.
Well, you're giving it up.
Yeah. That feels bad. This is your pipe mech timing. And you're losing the one objective you wanted in this game.
Yeah. Ursa lineup that doesn't get Roshan.
This Helm of Overlord, I'm surprised it's Helm of Overlord because of how far he is. It's just done way too fast at 16 minutes here. I mean, your Helm of the Overlord is done before your Ursa Battle Fury. That's crazy.
Yeah, he is 2,500 net worth ahead of the Ursa. Battle Fury now done.
So much tempo that can come out from Shopify. Like, we could see some early high ground pushes this game because, okay, you have Frost Shield, but it's not that high level because your Lich hasn't been involved in any fights.
Sure.
And you have the Pugna Max and the other blast to help you go through it anyway. I don't think IG's high ground defense is anything at all.
Yeah, it's just Storm Spirit, really.
So we'll see what Shopify decide to do. If they get a good fight near IG's base or like these tier 2s, they're going to be pushing them down very fast. And that's something IG are going to have to think about. Whereas their lineup really wants to spread Shopify out and play the map. They are having troubles getting the lanes in right now. As Arcane Rune for Emo is going to have to do some heavy lifting here.
The Aegis Holder charging through Arteezy, just going straight for the supports right away. They got the Primal Roar and the Silence, but the relocate can help him. Okay, never mind. PYW doesn't actually get that off. Crit is being saved by the heals. The constant suck finally Dustin will help finish him off, and Emo can go back in for Fly. Trying to finish him off now, but the life drain just keeps on going. They cannot stop the suck unless they could blow him up right away. Saberlight still playing this one out, but finally he falls. Emo, thanks to an Arcane Rune and the heals from PYW, is still kicking, but not for long. Gets caught by the chains and will be run down by Arteezy and Abed, who gets a ultra kill. Rampage for Arteezy.
God damn.
Shopify Rebellion, are they back? If they just kept themselves alive in the group stage, it's looking good.
You know, he was 0-0-0 before that fight. And it just gets 5. You know, why not? A little casual Morphling Rampage.
I mean, it had to be one of the easiest rampages of his life.
I was about to say, that
walked in with an Aegis and right-clicked.
He literally just sat there. I don't think he moved more than 200 units for like 80% of that fight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm going to right-click you down to 0. No, I'm going to right-click you down to 0. I'm going to steal a web, high-impact web movement.
yeah.
I don't know. What a weird Rampage, dude. But Artor, very happy to clean that one up. I mean, I was impressed by the sustain and the mana coming out from Emo. Arcane Rune plus all this heal from PYW. I almost thought maybe that relocate getting canceled ended up being good for them, but...
Yeah, who canceled it? I didn't see.
It was a Strength Adaptive Strike.
Oh, okay.
So Arteezy, definitely putting in the work here.
Yeah, he did.
Going to propel him up, and I guess this Morphling pick was pretty damn good. It's looking great here. 5-0-0 off a single team fight. Claims another tower, still has Aegis to boot, and Ags is coming in shortly. Steal whoever you want.
Gonna work towards an Aghanim Scepter next off of all that fresh Rampage gold he just got. And IG, I mean, I haven't seen this Morphling Ags versus Ursa, but I have to imagine, just like every other carry, it hates having its stats stolen.
Yeah, Ursa is an agi carry, so
yeah,
it's not a strength, even though he masquerades kind of as a strength hero. This Ursa loses attack speed, which isn't the worst for the hero, I guess.
Yeah, because he already has an attack speed steroid, but...
Yes, but the stats and the damage going... I mean, it just sucks. It just sucks. And then you can get overpower on Morphling, which is pretty damn nice.
Middle tower is under attack.
So we'll see what Arthur decides to use it for. Maybe he just wants some more webs again. I mean, Insatiable Hunger on Morph is also nothing to scoff at. It's like a pretty damn nice spell.
Oh yeah, especially if he gets the shard as well.
Yes. I'm surprised we don't see this more. Like, we've seen Brood being answered to Morphling, and I think it is in terms of the tempo and the lane, and like you can just snowball the game with the Brood's auras, and you don't... If you're Ags ulting a Brood, then you're not Ags ulting the 1 and the 2.
Right.
So generally the Brood team's happy. But in this game, like, I don't even think Arteezy's that sad if he Ags ults the Brood.
Yeah, considering how
look at this flank,
underfarmed
though.
some of the other heroes are.
Double damage emo in the back.
Yeah, this is looking real good. They're going to get right on top of the Skywrath Mage first. Blow him up in a second. Now move for more. They jump up to the high ground. No, they back away. Don't want to be baited into a bad fight. The Broodmother will give them the information that they need. Trying to get up to that high ground. Primal Roar. Now too many heroes have backed away. Zhang Yu is entirely alone, and nobody else from IG wanted to go with him up there.
This beast is just too scary. They don't want to go into the golem. They're not sure who to jump. They have 0 follow-up off the Storm Pull if the Lich can't get in there, and he's getting zoned by the Morphling.
I feel like that was a situation where I was fine with them going in, and I was fine with them backing off. But one or the other, you got to do it together.
Yes. And now you're going to lose your Tormentor. And Shopify just claimed full map control here. This game is getting scary. Like, this 25 to 30 minute second Aegis for Shopify is going to be really hard to defend if you can't contest that objective. So that is what IG are building for now, trying to get the Ancient Creep and give it the old Sinister Gaze counter I've talked about many times.
I don't think he actually got it. I think they
No, he did not.
He got the Helm of the Overlord off.
A little Ancient Frostbitten Golem.
Is that the one, the cooldown reduction?
Yep, Time Warp Aura, level 2 Time Warp, by the way.
Wow. So it's an extra 1%.
That's pretty nice. This Wild Axis is 7.1 instead of 7.2.
See if it makes a difference. The Aghanim Scepter is done for Arteezy. Way ahead of what you would expect.
He's cruising. He's really high level too, level 17. I guess that's what a Rampage will do for you here. He is well ahead of all the IG cores.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And they're going to open up the base. So if they get another Roshan here, I guess they can even just poke it right now. Like, bring IG back. Again, their outspam is incredibly bad. There's not much danger in doing this. You get a glyph. That's pretty valuable. Didn't cost them too much. They can just go straight into mid. Kick the Brood out. Emo's finding some farm, working towards BKB, but it's... I feel like a lot of this comeback potential for IG is based around the Ursa's itemization, not necessarily anybody else's.
Yeah.
And Shopify are just making the Ursa's impact more difficult as the defensive items and the EHP start to stack up. We have an Octarine on Abed.
Yep, I was going to say, the big difference, trying to get a BKB on one mid laner, the other one is completing an Octarine.
Like, this is a greedy item, right? Because it's not that good defensively outside of just the raw HP, but it doesn't feel like IG are going to be able to burst him here, especially with Pugna behind him, with Lotus, with Glimmer and Decrep. You have another Glimmer on crit, and then you have this Roar that can bail out one of the cores going on him in the first place.
Trying to make a move to catch Abed, I think. I don't know how they do that.
I don't think you can kill him though. Like,
yeah, I don't think so either.
You have a Vortex into a level 1 Sinister Gaze. That is your lockdown. And I feel like Abed knows it, and he does not care.
Yeah, he's going to play super far forward and get kills wherever he can. If you're outside the base, he's going to hunt you down.
And this is where you cannot be dying if you're IG. Because now your base is right in front of Shopify with no glyph.
Yeah, no Frost Shield.
I guess they got the wave cut.
Oh, they did.
Okay, nice little play. There's a top wave coming in though, so It only saved him a couple seconds here. And that is a... Is it long enough to get BKB on Dust? It's going to be close. I don't think he's going to have it for this, though. So they'll get some a little tower chip, and actually, Shopify just want to TV back and set up.
Yeah, it's time to do Roshan. They have the vision from the Hawk on it, so... Know it's up, and you really don't want to give the space for Dust to, like, sneak it or something like that. In fact, they might even be able to kill Dust. Dust and BYW instantly blinked away. Oh, and he still got him with the slight chains. Well played by Abed, stopping that TP. BYW tries to go for the desperate relocate out, but of course the Primal Roar is there instantly, and they will both die. And now Shopify. Well, I mean, do you go back for the Roshan, or you just poke at high ground again?
I feel like I just go down mid and hit the high ground. I think it's a lot faster than they feel it is. Like, I think they don't want to do it because normally it's not that valuable of a move, but I actually feel like this tower just dies.
Yeah, I feel like it's more valuable than it used to be now that Roshan is also on the corners of the map, whereas opposed to, you know, old Roshan pit was actually near the mid, so it was easy to connect to.
Dire's middle tower
Probably
is
true.
under attack.
Emo
Spacing
making
better.
some bold moves, because you kind of need to make a bold move or two, and bold itemization apparently. He's going to be caught here by the sounds, but I think he'll survive through this. Nobody else is quite close enough. Abed's closing the distance, but a long zip, TP out. Oh, that slight was barely off the mark, but he gets it.
This is still space for the Roshan, which has spawned, and Shopify instantly in it with their two big right clickers here. That's a valuable force off the map here, and IG just not prepared to contest these Roshans with the Ursa IO. It is not the same speed it used to be, and the BKB is still not done for Dust. Even then, you still need the lockdown components here. This lineup is just way too fast for IG to deal with. Dynamization, pretty damn solid here from Shopify, and they'll get an Aegis on the Morphling, so now that high ground siege is wide open.
What do you think of Bloodstone for Emo?
I was looking about that, and I have no idea. Honestly, it doesn't sound great.
I think I hate it.
Like, what's it doing in this game?
I don't know, but I know maybe I'm a little obsessed with Aghanim Scepter, but I feel like you need a game-changing moment, and I'm not sure if Bloodstone gives that to you, you know? I don't know what item gives that to you. I feel like maybe Ags is potential.
I mean, the weird thing is I feel like even if Emo gets max value out of this and gets like a crap ton of mana, I don't even know if the extra mana helps him.
Yeah.
I feel like these fights are not about him having more mana. The fights are about, can you actually kill a Shopify hero with lockdown? That has been the problem. Like, you need Bash on Ursa or a Hex on somebody. Something. Abed just has way too much free reign. Okay, here's your pull into what?
Yeah, not much. Into a whole lot of damage. The Bloodstone does help defend against that one. He heals up a little bit. Another stun, though, coming in. And now a route to follow it up. They're changing it nicely, but the relocate was just in time.
That was perfect timing. Can they do anything with it, though?
Yeah, I mean, they're TPing out so they can stay alive, but they cannot turn around this team fight, sadly. And they're going to lose both their supports for it.
And Abed took this extra chains duration, so these are 4-second chains. Just been debilitating in the fight, because there's no dispel on IG side. Like we saw there, Emo, he sits there, okay, Bloodstone is technically healing you a little, but you're still just sitting there. Nothing's happening. Shopify didn't even have to use too much. They used a roar. That was it. That's what you got out of them. You're back onto the high ground. Something out of here. That's a big mud goal. God damn.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Oh, yeah. I see that now.
Dire's top barracks.
Why is he so big?
Helm of the Overlord.
Helm of the Overlord increases the unit size?
Yeah, doesn't it?
I didn't know that.
Dire's top barracks.
For non-ancient creeps.
Oh, okay.
Ancients stay the same, but if it's a non-ancient, it makes them larger. So then you can tell it's that overlorded neutral and not a normal dominator neutral.
Of course. That is very important to identify.
I mean, look at this boy. He's big. He's a big boy.
And IG apparently cannot handle all the heat that this Golem's bringing. They're just dropping buildings one by one.
This is through back door.
Yeah, Morphling will do that to you. he'll make your buildings and your heroes disappear real quick.
Right,
like
on
he
the
does
back
that
line.
Broodmother. Instant buyback. I mean, they're trying to assault the back line while the Broodmother's drawing attention away, but they can't actually kill enough. Abed is going to be staying alive for a little bit longer. Cheese goes off, and he's got the Decrepify to be able to help him out. He's just not taking the damage from Dust that they hoped for. Crit, maybe Crit will die. Oh, Glimmer Cape, got him in the end. Threw out the Mystic Flare, cost him his life, but did help eliminate the Storm Spirit. These Decrepifies are causing serious issue for Dust, who just cannot stick on one hero at a time and bring them down. GG is going to be called. IG will lose this series. Shopify Rebellion keep themselves in serious contention now to be able to get